Welcome aboard, everyone. It is so wonderful to have you back in the galley with me today. If you are new here, pull up a jump seat and get comfortable. I'm Chloe, and I've been working as cabin crew for over 12 years. Flying routes across the country and around the world, I've handed out thousands of pillows, calmed nervous flyers, and walked countless passengers through customs procedures. Because I spend so much of my life in airports, I've learned things that most travelers never discover. Today, we're having a different kind of conversation. We're not talking about what you can't do. We're talking about what you absolutely can do and what airlines and airports are legally required to provide you, but will never volunteer to tell you. I see it every single day. A senior traveler struggling through an enormous terminal, not realizing they could have had a wheelchair waiting for them at no charge, or someone paying extra fees that they were entitled to have waived, or missing a connection because nobody told them they had the right to priority assistance. Here's the truth. You have rights, real, federal, legally protected rights, and the airline industry is banking on you not knowing about them. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's go through 10 travel rights for seniors that airports and airlines almost never mention. Number one, free wheelchair and mobility assistance from curb to gate and back. This is the big one, and I cannot tell you how many seniors don't know this exists. Under the Air Carrier Access Act, airlines are legally required to provide wheelchair or guided assistance to any passenger who needs it. This includes assistance from the terminal entrance or vehicle drop-off point all the way to your gate through security, onto the aircraft, and to your seat. And then the same thing in reverse when you land. You do not have to own a wheelchair. You do not have to have a doctor's note. You do not have to prove anything. You simply have to identify yourself to airline staff as needing assistance. The airline will provide the wheelchair and the personnel to push it. This service is completely free. I recommend calling your airline at least 48 hours before your flight to arrange this in advance, but even if you show up day of and realize you need help, they must provide it. I've seen too many seniors limping through terminals, exhausted and in pain because they didn't know they could simply ask. Number two, the TSA Cares program and passenger support specialists. The Transportation Security Administration has a dedicated helpline called TSA Cares, specifically designed for travelers with disabilities, medical conditions, or those who need additional assistance. And this absolutely includes seniors. If you call TSA Cares at least 72 hours before your flight, they can arrange for a passenger support specialist to meet you at the security checkpoint. These are specially trained TSA officers who understand how to work with travelers who have medical devices, mobility issues, cognitive conditions like dementia, or simply need extra time and patience during screening. You can reach TSA Cares at 8557-872227. Write that number down right now. They can also answer any questions you have about traveling with medication, medical equipment, or anything else that concerns you about the screening process. Number three, passengers 75 and older get expedited screening benefits. This one is rarely advertised, but it's official TSA policy. If you are 75 years of age or older, you receive certain expedited screening benefits automatically. You can keep your light jacket on. You can keep your shoes on. If you do trigger the metal detector, you'll be allowed to pass through a second time before they require a pat-down. You don't need TSA pre-check. You don't need to enroll in anything. You simply need to be 75 or older. Now, this doesn't mean you'll be whisked through security like a VIP. You'll still go through the standard line. But those small accommodations can make a real difference when you're managing mobility issues or simply don't want the indignity of removing your shoes in public. Number four, your medication is exempt from the 3.4-ounce liquid rule. Every senior I talk to is terrified about traveling with their medications. Will TSA confiscate my insulin? What about my liquid prescriptions? Can I bring my medical creams? Here's the official rule. Medically necessary liquids, gels, and aerosols are allowed in carry-on bags in quantities that exceed the standard 3.4-ounce limit in reasonable amounts for your trip. You must declare these items to a TSA officer at the beginning of the screening process, and they may undergo additional inspection. But they will not be confiscated simply because they're over 3.4 ounces. Solid medications like pills have no restrictions at all. You can bring unlimited amounts in your carry-on. They don't need to be in original prescription bottles for domestic travel, although having labels can help avoid confusion. And if you don't want your medication X-rayed, You can request a visual inspection instead. Just make sure to ask before your items go through the scanner. Number 5, you have the right to pre-board the aircraft. Under the Air Carrier Access Act, if you self identify at the gate as having a disability and needing additional time or assistance to board, store accessibility equipment, or be seated, the airline must offer you pre boarding. This means you board before general boarding begins, giving you time to get settled without the pressure of a line of people behind you. Many seniors don't realize this applies to them. If you have mobility limitations, use a cane or walker, have vision or hearing impairments, or simply need extra time, you qualify. You don't need documentation. You simply need to inform the gate agent that you need pre-boarding assistance due to a disability or medical condition. Number 6, airlines must provide a complaint resolution official on demand. If something goes wrong, if your wheelchair assistance never shows up, if you're denied pre-boarding, if your assistive device is damaged, you have the right to speak with a complaint resolution official, or CRO, immediately. Every airline is required to have a CRO available at every airport they serve during all operating hours. This person is specially trained to resolve disability-related issues on the spot. They can be reached in person or by phone. If a gate agent or customer service representative is giving you the runaround, simply say, "I would like to speak with your complaint resolution official." That phrase has power. Use it. And if the CRO cannot resolve your issue, you can file a complaint directly with the Department of Transportation. Their disability hotline number is 1-800-778-4838. Number 7, you are entitled to automatic refunds for canceled or significantly changed flights. This is a recent development that many people don't know about. Under current Department of Transportation rules, if your flight is canceled or significantly changed and you choose not to travel or accept rebooking, you are entitled to a full refund. The airline cannot force you to accept a voucher or travel credit. A significant change is defined as a delay of 3 hours or more for domestic flights, or 6 hours or more for international flights. It also includes changes in departure or arrival airports, added connections, or a downgrade in class of service. The refund must be issued promptly within 7 business days for credit card purchases or 20 business days for cash purchases. And under the rules, you should not have to request it manually. These refunds are supposed to be automatic. If an airline tries to push a voucher on you instead, stand firm. You have the right to your money back. Number 8, assistive devices do not count against your carry-on limit. This is a simple one, but airlines rarely mention it. If you use a cane, walker, wheelchair, CPAP machine, portable oxygen concentrator, or any other assistive device, it does not count against your carry-on baggage allowance. You are still entitled to your standard carry-on bag and personal item in addition to your medical equipment. I've seen seniors forced to check bags because they thought their walker counted as their carry-on. It doesn't. Furthermore, collapsible wheelchairs get priority storage in the cabin. If you pre-board, your wheelchair has priority over other passengers' carry-on items for closet space. 9. Airlines cannot charge you for a safety assistant if they require one. In very limited circumstances, an airline may determine that a passenger needs to travel with a safety assistant for emergency evacuation purposes. If you disagree with this assessment, you can dispute it. But here's the key point. If the airline requires you to travel with a safety assistant and you don't have one, the airline cannot charge you for that second seat. They must provide transportation for your assistant at no cost. This is federal law. I've heard stories of seniors being told they need to buy a second ticket for a companion. If the airline is requiring the companion for safety reasons, that seat is free. Number 10. Airlines cannot leave you unattended in a wheelchair for more than 30 minutes. Under federal regulations, carriers cannot leave a passenger with a disability unattended in a wheelchair, boarding wheelchair, or other device in which the passenger is not independently mobile for more than 30 minutes. If you've requested wheelchair assistance and find yourself abandoned in a hallway or at a gate for extended periods, that is a violation. Document the time, get the names of any staff you spoke with, and report it to the complaint resolution official. Airlines have obligations to provide prompt, dignified assistance, and being abandoned in a wheelchair is neither. Now, let me share some practical tips for actually exercising these rights. First, always call ahead. Contact your airline at least 48 hours before travel to arrange any assistance you need. Call TSA Cares 72 hours before to discuss any screening concerns. Planning ahead prevents problems. Second, get everything in writing. If an airline makes you a promise, ask them to note it in your reservation. Third, know the magic words. I'm requesting wheelchair assistance. I need pre-boarding due to a disability. I would like to speak with your complaint resolution official. I am entitled to a refund under DOT rules. Speaking clearly and confidently about your rights makes a difference. Fourth, carry important numbers with you. Write down TSA Cares at 855787-2227 and the DOT Disability Hotline at 1-877-84838. Having these on hand gives you immediate backup if something goes wrong. And fifth, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. The airline industry is enormous and impersonal. Employees are often undertrained and overworked. Most of the time, when seniors don't receive the assistance they're entitled to, it's not malice. It's ignorance or oversight. But that doesn't mean you should accept it. You've earned the right to travel with dignity. If you found this information helpful, please hit that subscribe button. I am committed to helping you navigate the skies safely and with the respect you deserve. Also, hit the like button if you're going to write down those hotline numbers. In my next video, we're going to discuss the new rules about traveling with mobility devices and what happens when airlines damage your wheelchair or scooter, because it happens far more often than it should, and you need to know your rights. Thank you so much for trusting me with your travel questions. Remember, you are not a burden. You are a valued passenger with legal protections. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Stay safe, travel confidently, and I will see you in the skies. Bye, everyone.